One. Hello, guys. Welcome to the first ever podcast on the new YouTube channel. Um, and I am sitting here with Spooky Lou, or you mind if I actually say your real name?
You go for it.
Okay, Derek Davis, as some of you may know him. Um, he is a podcaster himself. He actually runs the Wrestleroni uh podcast, which is absolutely awesome. I was on there a few episodes back. Uh, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite, and I appreciate the praise, my man. I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah. You're also doing something right. Also here in the state of West Virginia with your own wrestling company now, ain't you? Ain't that right?
How crazy is that? We're two shows deep, extreme independent wrestling, looking to do a lot more in 2024. And yeah, I'd say we kind of hit the ground running and took off a little bit. I'm very proud of what we're doing.
Yeah. Can you give us a little insight on what EIW is?
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, so we had a death match for the Halloween special for the YouTube channel, and it caused a lot of noise. It got a lot of attention. And Tim Cross, promoter of RSW, he said, I kind of like what you guys are doing. Why don't you guys use the training school and start running shows up there here and there? And we just thought we'd be running little shows and filming just for the YouTube channel. But nah, we got live crowds now. And like I say, it all started from a death match, and then that got popular within 2 weeks of filming that death match for the YouTube channel. We was running our first show just last weekend. We ran our second show, it was even more successful than the last. So it's been a hell of an experience, man. It's been a dream come true to say the least.
Yeah, and for those who are watching this, that actually go back and watch the episode that I was on with uh, uh, Derek here. I mentioned I'm trying to start my own company, and well, since you've actually got yours up and running, can you give me a few tips on what I should like focus on more, and what
For
I should not focus on, and just give me any advice at all?
For sure, man. Make friends, know some good people. I think you're set there. I know some of the folks you know, you do know some good folks. So you got that working for you. Actually, me and you know some of the same folks. So we have it working to both of our advantage. So we've got that working for us. Good to know good people. That's awesome. Now we got to worry about the ring. You probably know somebody that has a ring, as I know somebody that has a ring. So, okay, they got to have a place to wrestle. Unless you want to do no ring deathmatch shows, that's on you. If you want to do that, that's an option as well. So we've got the ring, hopefully. Oh man, now we gotta get a venue. I got super lucky with a venue because we have the training school. The disadvantage, I can't go posting the training school address on Facebook, so you have to message us and we give you the address and a message. That way everybody doesn't know where the training school is. So that's probably costing us some ticket sales. So you got to find a venue. And now, okay, so you know good folks. Now you got to be real careful on who you book because there's politics. Spooky Lou knew about the politics, but I didn't know the politics would get Spooky Lou so soon. They're everywhere. You got to make sure this person is liked by everybody in your locker room, everybody, the guy you're getting the ring from, the guy that any person helping you, if you want them on your side, don't piss them off. Even if you don't even mean to piss them off, you're going to piss them off. Be careful on who you book. That's a lesson learned from Spooky Lou, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure any wrestling fan knows politics in wrestling, because you got to have. Well, you don't have to have them, but you try your best to avoid them.
And I thought I did. I thought I got along with everybody, and I like to think I do, but
Hmm.
there are people that I respect, and I respect their opinion. And it's like the 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like I even like the guy that we booked, and I would book him in a heartbeat if it wasn't for politics. I feel terrible I couldn't book the guy I wanted to book, but it's politics, man. I got to keep the people above me happy because they're keeping me happy, and my dad said it best. Shit rolls downhill. Am I allowed to
Hmm.
cuss on here? Because I
Yeah,
did. You might have
I
to
can just
beat me.
edit it out later.
My bad.
Yeah,
I'm used to my foul mouth podcast. I'll straighten up. I promise.
you're fine as long as I blur out the first couple words. YouTube don't care. Um, Now speaking of politics, there's one person that we have to talk about, and I'm pretty sure you know exactly who I'm talking about. And he's a major name, CM Punk.
Okay.
So whether you like him or you don't, he is always the head of controversy in any wrestling business at all. What is your thoughts on that? First off,
You know, you summed it up. Whether you like him or you don't, I don't know if I like him or I don't anymore. It just kind of depends on the week. Like, I was a big AEW guy, so if you're fighting the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, I side with them. But I'm happy to see Punk happy. I was happy to see him face Dom at Madison Square Garden last night. I saw footage from that. Looks like he had fun. I'm glad he's happy. Man, wrestling can wear on you. Just the past year has wore on me. I can imagine as long as this dude's been in the business, you would have some gripes. And some people just handle it better than others. He's human, and sometimes I guess you're going to punch people in the face, but you don't do that at a multi-million-dollar level.
right? And I love how on his second day back, well, but it would technically be his third because of Royal Rumble, but on his second appearance on TV, he takes a shot at AEW just by saying it's 2023. You can't go around punching people in the face backstage.
Yeah, and isn't it cool that he can say stuff like that in WWE nowadays? Like WWE is finally getting hip and getting with the
Hmm.
times and catering to that internet fan. So, of course, he did the pipe bomb years ago, but I'm just saying, with Vince gone, WWE's looking a lot better in my eyes.
Right, and you have to give a lot of thanks to what is happening now in WWE to Triple H, uh,
Mm-hmm.
because ever since he's taken over, it every single week it's been getting better and better, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Same here. Same here. For probably the past, they've had a solid year. 2023 was really good to them.
Yeah.
That they've been on a hell of a run, and I never thought I'd see the day where I enjoyed WWE television over AEW television. And I'll say, like the past probably 6 months, I prefer WWE television to AEW television.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I believe me, I've been AEW fanboy since the word go, since they were announced, because I was following all the guys on the Indies and New Japan. So I've been down since day one. But yeah, WWE's pulling ahead.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that. And speaking of day one, what do you think of the up and coming Raw? The match card that we got for that.
Yeah, it's a solid stacked show. It's cool they're giving it away for free. They know what they're doing. I'm sure probably first hour will go commercial free. They'll make money off the yin yang on it. Fans
Oh
will be
yeah.
happy, and everybody will tune into the Royal Rumble. And that's how you start out the calendar year if you want everybody to watch Mania.
Mm-hmm. Now that's something also. I've the first hour commercial free. I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that it would be better for the last hour to be commercial free, so that way you can have the main event.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's been done on occasion here and there. Which, yeah, like you say, let that main event run a little
yeah,
bit.
because
I'd be all for it.
that's your whole main focus is your main event, and if you want to draw viewers in, do not interrupt them with commercials.
Yeah,
That
yeah. Phew, you guys don't know how good you have it with the old pitcher and pitcher deal nowadays. Back in my day, we didn't get to see like when it went to break. It was at break.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't like picture in picture.
I like when possible AEW. I watch it on the fight stream. That way you can just watch it during the break. That's real nice.
Yeah, I've seen clips of from stuff from fight, and it's I think I might actually give it a try soon.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Fight, IWTV, all those streaming services. Wrestling's never been more accessible. YouTube, it's awesome to be a wrestling fan right now.
Yeah, and Well, now let's continue on with the week going on. We got New Year's Evil coming up for NXT.
Hmm.
Uh, I really haven't seen a lot of hype for it though, to be honest with you.
I can't say I have either. Now, I'd be lying if I said I followed NXT religiously. There's just too much wrestling to follow, and that's the one I slack in, and
Yeah,
Impact. So, yeah, your opinion's way more valid than mine on this one, because I'd
yeah,
just be throwing out guesses. I know Punk was on there with Shawn Michaels recently.
yeah. That was with Deadline, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, the last pay-per-view or
Yeah.
premium live event.
Oh yeah, we can't say pay per view for WWE anymore.
Nah, I can't do that.
I gotta blur that out before they catch us. Um, but no, and then we go on. We got the two. You got the bump and then the best of on Peacock,
Mm,
and then we got the return of New Year Revolution to WWE for SmackDown.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. You're giving me news.
Yep.
What's going on? Tell me about it.
New I just saw it advertised and I was like, I thought I recognized that logo, and it was the New Year's Revolution logo for SmackDown this year. Uh,
That's cool.
and so I can't wait to see what we got on that, because Revolution was one of my favorites. Because that's whenever John Cena won that Elimination Chamber at
Hmm.
and then won the belt and Edge cashed in.
Yep.
So that's what really got me hooked on Revolution. Or
Okay.
yeah, or
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember the
that's what it's
first
called.
one
Yeah.
was in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
So it's always cool when they go to Puerto Rico or have any sort of international pay per view. That always adds a little bit of fun to it.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next question. It's because we got Bash in Berlin, which is, I'm guessing, a house show for them. Uh,
Okay.
but then we got Backlash in France.
Huh.
So what else would you like to see out? Oh, we also got Elimination Chamber in Australia this year, too.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
this coming year.
Good. I hope they use some local Australian talent when they can. Like, even if it's security. Australia has such a cool wrestling scene right now, and it's cool that WWE is going over there to give a little bit to that economy. Of course, take a little bit from the economy as well, but
Yeah,
kind of liven things up in Australia, because Impact was just over there recently too and had a really fun tour. So I love seeing Australia get some love. If you check out my channel, we have a lot of great Australian independent promotions. We got Phil Picasso and his group. We've got Trent O'Day and Queensland Wrestling Alliance. A lot of great Australian wrestling on the Wrestleroni channel. They're doing great over there. I'm glad they're going to Australia. That'll be fun.
yeah. What what else would you like, or where else would you like to see either AEW, because they go to London,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got the Canadian tour, with AEW right now. Um, what where else would you like to see, like, a major promotion go and support them or get eyes on their wrestling?
I'd like to see Argentina get some love. They're trying to develop their own wrestling scene. They've had a TV scene for a while. It was a TV show back in the 70s. And now these guys are pretty much starting from scratch, starting their own indie scene. So they've got a few local big names, but I would like to see one of the two big feds go down there. That way these guys can learn, from a bigger federation promotion. I would like to see Argentina get a little bit of love.
Now, one place I would like for to get a lot of eyes on, especially here in America, and that is Japan, because not a
Oh, yeah.
lot of people in America know about Japanese wrestling.
Hmm.
But another place that absolutely gets no eyes on it at all is Africa.
Yeah, they got some wild stuff going on down there. That's why there's no eyes on it. They're doing voodoo wrestling down there.
I mean, we don't know if they have anything down there or not.
Oh, they do. They do. I'll send you some clips. They're wild in Africa. it's a culture difference. That's why they don't have a bunch of eyes on it. The Africans are watching. It's on TV down there, but they're sacrificing goats and snakes and possessing each other. It's like Undertaker times 10, man.
Now,
Yeah,
yeah,
Africa's wild.
I wasn't trying to be racist by saying that at all. If
No,
anybody
I'm just
thinks
saying
that,
how they are. That's no race about it. That's just how African wrestling is. They're doing voodoo, crazy ass wrestling, crazy butt wrestling.
um, so we've talked about your company. We've talked about WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to AEW.
Okay.
Um, what do you think AEW could do better to get people in? Because they've tried Edge, nothing happened. They tried CM Punk. Look what happened there. They only sold out like maybe 11 shows that he was on, and then everything started falling out. So what do you think AEW could do better to draw fans in?
As much as it pains me to say it, we got to change the business philosophy. For too long, they've catered to the internet nerds like myself and brought in Danhausen and Orange Cassidy and all this, and they've popped the marks and they've popped the smarks.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to start catering to those casual fans. We got to start filling up arenas again. So you can't have these rivalries that you just expect people to remember from Ring of Honor and stuff like
Right.
that. Like I love it and I don't want it to change, but they're set to lose millions this year. So maybe just for 1 year we can cater to the casual fans so we can get the money back so EW doesn't like go under. If that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. You got to cater to those casual fans, tell simple stories, put the big names and the big main events. You got to start following through too. Don't have this guy get this big win, then bury him next week. We got
Mm-hmm.
to follow through, make some new stars. They did that with Swerve. So happy with what they've done with Swerve. But yeah, I think it's time to cater to the casuals for a while. Unfortunately.
Now, I I agree with everything you said, but they also need to stop bringing in a bunch of these. I'm gonna say it, ex WWE guys. They really do need to stop doing that.
Oh yeah, they're bleeding money right now.
Yeah, they're like what? I think it was 1 million in the hole or something.
Oh,
Hold on.
hundreds of millions last I read.
Uh, I'm about to find out.
And hey, man, good thing Tony Khan and his dad have a lot of money, and they can bleed a little bit of money for wrestling. So you'll never hear me talk poop on Tony Khan. I love the dude. I'm so thankful for what he's done for wrestling and giving some of these independent guys some money and some longevity and stability in their careers. So I do appreciate that. I just don't like where the company's at the moment. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Right. And so here's a little excerpt from SlamWrestling.net. They said simply subtracting expenses, which was $188 million from revenue, 154 million gives us to EBI. EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, deception, and amortization of $34 million in losses for the year of 2023.
Chew. Mm. Hey man, God bless you. God bless you for what you're doing for wrestling.
We thank you, Tony, but kind of lay off the pipe a little bit. Come on. um,
Oh man. And something's going wrong when Cody Rhodes jumps to WWE. Like that was when I was like, oh, something's not all good in AEW land.
no. Yeah, and I even told my dad that I was like, what is going on? One of the main
Uh-huh.
guys that started AEW with the Young Bucks and Kenny went to WWE.
And I gotta say, I'm so glad he did. Like they did. They treated him right, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But That was a shocker.
But Cody put himself in that position where he put himself in the story where if he don't win, he never goes for the championship, which was stupid.
Hmm. And it wasn't just that, was just one of the many misfires going on. I couldn't understand why the fans were turning on him the way they were in AEW. I was so glad he bailed because the fans were just ruthless on him.
No, because we all wanted him heel, but he didn't want that.
It was weird. It was a weird time. He's going through flaming tables and stuff, but people are still booing him.
All because he didn't wrestle Nick Gage with real light tubes and glass like Jericho did.
Good old Nick Gage. Oh man, yeah. Hey, gotta give it to Jericho. Never thought I'd see that match. See, and you got to give it to AEW. You got Nick Gage and Chris Jericho on TV. Like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Now, speaking of Nick Gage, what do you think of him getting Mace and Mansoor and Ali and
Hell yeah. Yeah, especially Mansoor and the Mel Models dudes.
yeah?
They've been doing some crazy good stuff on social media, and they were hilarious on WWE. So I'm all for those guys getting work. I'm sure they'll kill it in GCW.
To be honest with you, I did not like the Maximum Male Models. I just thought that was like really putting them down at that point. Mace was a lot better in Retribution, I will say. He was a lot more serious.
Right, right.
And then he went to the goofy stuff with just coming out, posing, and then walking back, not even actually getting matches. And if he did get matches, he was losing.
Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of the television product, but the stuff I've seen from the guys on social media is what's sold me. Because yeah, they didn't. That was garbage on TV. I agree with you 110%.
Yeah, and now let's go to the other guy we was talking about, Chris Jericho. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but him, Stephen P. New, and
Yeah,
Cornette were all and Brian Last too. They were all in an argument over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it now.
well, Stephen P. New's just getting up and everything recently, ain't he,
Yeah,
man? Stephen P. New out here making power plays, baby.
yeah, even supporting Huff
Can we
Finley in that fight with the Yeet and all that, and
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, he made sure Huff was taken care of. I'm sure he did. But yeah, then the beef with Jericho, the crap talk back and forth. I'm not sure what to make of that. I think it's time for him to settle down and stay in his lane because it's a small world. Here's another piece of advice I'll give you. Doing these podcasts, it's really easy just to go on a tangent and start running your mouth about somebody.
mm-hmm.
It's real easy to do. We're sitting here in the comfort of our own homes and we can say whatever we want. The day will come when you're in a locker room and you see that big burly wrestler that you just run your mouth about,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll pray they never heard that podcast. And if you're lucky, you'll survive that incident and you'll make it home to unlist that podcast.
And that's another thing I do. I don't say nothing at all. So I mean, I know when to keep my mouth shut, and I know when to say something.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about Stephen P. New. Like, it's a small world, buddy. Like, who's to say, hey, here in 2 years, Jericho leaves AEW and decides to go on a world indie tour, and
Mm-hmm.
he's working for Gary Dameron and ASW.
Oh Lord.
Who's to say? And if CM Punk's back in WWE wrestling in the Garden, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. And he even sold out the Garden.
Yeah, that's like I read that was the best numbers they've done for like a not televised or premium live event. Best numbers they've done in years.
Yep.
Good. So yeah, Stephen P. New needs to be careful because it's real easy to run your mouth, and Jericho does definitely seems like the type he would sock in, and be happy to pay the lawsuit.
Yeah. He'll
So
be
yeah,
like Randy Orton, pay it double for the next time.
Yep, there you go. Yep. I mean, these guys learned it from somewhere. It's not like they invented it. This has been going on in wrestling for years.
Yeah,
So,
and
yes. That's all I got on old Stephen P. New. I do respect the man for all he's done for wrestling, but be careful, Bubby.
yeah. Now, we can't talk about podcasts and all this without mentioning Cornette. You know,
All right.
so Cornette, man, he's just I haven't listened to him for a while, but uh, he's been getting a lot more controversy here recently.
Well, he's always getting the controversy. I'd lie if I say I listen to him. I respect the hell out of the man. It's just I prefer a Simon Miller with the positive outlook to the Jim Cornette just bashing wrestling and bashing this and bashing that.
Yeah.
I just prefer the positive outlook over the negative. And who knows? Maybe everything he says, maybe he does give guys their flowers. I don't know. I don't listen to him.
Well, he's old school, and and I don't get me wrong, I like old school, but his his opinion on the deathmatch wrestling, I do not agree with at all.
Okay. And I'm like you. There's nothing wrong with the old school. There's a reason that it is the old school, and it's been adhered to for so long.
Right.
But I'm a big advocate for wrestling can be whatever you want it to be, and please take that, expand on it as long as the framework's there. I encourage no ring deathmatch wrestling. Like I say, if you're still telling a story, athletic competition, beating the hell out of each other,
Hmm.
wrestling can be whatever you want it to be. And Jim Cornette knows his stuff. He's been around. He's been to every company. He's made lots of money, so
Yep.
he's earned his right to say whatever he wants. I don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's your opinion, and I don't. And what I think he's doing is he's trying to tell us that everything's too fake. Well, I'm not trying to say it like how all these other people are saying that it's fake. I'm
Mhm.
saying that he's saying that you can tell nowadays.
Right, and I can understand both sides of that argument too. I'd like to think we're in a culture where people accept that it's entertainment
Yeah.
and they'd rather play into it. But then I have saw scenarios to where kayfabe not being adhered to has hurt products and hurt scenes. So that's a tricky
And, that,
one.
and that's just like MJF. Everywhere he goes when he was a heel, he was flipping kids off. He was sitting there
Hmm.
trash talking people in wheelchairs and everything. But he was in character.
Yeah,
And he was trying to protect the business, and people were down on him for that.
yeah.
Saying
And
that,
on the,
saying
and
that,
while he was in one hallway, keeping kayfabe alive and being a jerk to these kids, two hallways down were the Young Bucks and a few others exposing the business and killing the business with their vlog. So, where's the happy medium? I guess,
right.
it's all up to the viewer.
Yeah, and like I said, I like all kinds of styles of wrestling. I like MJF style wrestling. And then you got the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm trying to be as nice as possible by saying this because I know you're a big Kenny and Young Bucks fan, ain't you?
Yeah, but you're not going to break me, I promise.
Okay. Um, they do the comic, like the comedy style wrestling,
For sure, yeah.
but they do it in a way that's too comical.
I can, that's hard to argue as well.
Yeah, you see where I'm coming from, right?
For sure, and for
Okay.
sure, and like I said. the crowds they were performing in front of, the more ludicrous, the better. Now, once you're on TV, can you tone it down? I think, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
tone it down a little bit.
Now, you got the Orange Cassidy Danhausen.
Yeah.
They they make it. They make the comedy the way I like comedy wrestling. They do it perfectly. The and Orange Cassidy turns it off when he needs to, and I can actually fight.
Right.
And I'm actually started to grow on Orange Cassidy a lot more than I did whenever he was all the time hands in pockets and doing the uh suicide dive and all this, and not really didn't look like he was actually carrying in the
Right.
ring. Now that he's the
Yeah, I think
international
after he had
champion,
that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
now that he's the international champion, he's actually making it look like he's wanting to keep the title. He's wanting to defend it every week. He's wanting to do everything now.
Yeah, he had some really great matches. That's really solidified him for sure.
And Danhausen just came back. Now
Hmm.
I haven't really seen a lot of his stuff, but my co-host is a major fan of Danhausen,
Okay.
and so I really haven't seen a lot of Danhausen stuff, like I said. So I want to see more of Danhausen on TV and see if I like him or not.
Yeah, he's got he did a lot of good stuff in Black Label Pro, a lot of good stuff on the Indies. He's got a good body of work.
And so to close out this interview, is there anything that you would like to plug? I mean, we already plugged your YouTube channels, uh, but if you want to, just let anybody know anything, or just go ahead and do that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, my man. I guess yeah, give the Wrestleroni Facebook page a like while you're at it. Extreme Independent Wrestling on Facebook. We're going to be expanding in 2024. We're an international promotion. Keep that in mind. So you're going to see EIW in some unexpected places. Give me a follow on Twitter at Carpenbarker on Twitter. Be kind to each other. Treat each other with kindness and respect. Support independent wrestling, especially if you're in West Virginia. There's so much good stuff in the area right now. Go out, check out some independent pro wrestling. You'll be glad you did.
All right, thank you.
I thank you, my man. I wish you the best.
You too.
All right.